Hi everyone, in this video I'm going to be walking you through a distance learning website that I created for the upcoming school year to support families and students and parents in distance learning as they are working from home. So hopefully you find this useful. I'm going to walk you through the website first, and then after the website I'll show you a little bit of the back end in case you're unfamiliar with Google Sites, which is what this site was built in. And then I will also show you how you can make your own copy and move it around so that it is in your own drive. So this is the front page of the website. All of these things are interchangeable. So if you don't like those pictures or you want to personalize it to your school, you can absolutely do that. Across the bottom, these are just links to some of the other links that are across the top. I just like the look of it. I think it looks clean, user-friendly. It draws your attention here. And these are, while there are 6 things across the top, these are probably the top 4 that parents are going to want to access and have the most questions about. So if they click on these links, it will take them to that page. So you'll see now that we're pulled into the general info page. And this is just kind of a page that's similar to a frequently asked questions, but most of what you see in here, you can see that I put insert information, so that way you can insert your own information. But these are some of the questions that we are answering for our parents. And then this section, I did actually leave some text there that you could totally snag and use as your own. The next section is teachers. Now, if they click on the top link, it takes them to kind of sections like this to go off and go into their classes, or they can access the classes by clicking on them individually. It's going to look pretty blank in this copy because, again, this is a copy. This isn't the active website that I'll be using at my school during this year, but that way you can make your own copy and edit it. But here's a quick example. A teacher's picture would go here, their name, maybe the class period. It could also be changed with maybe office hours, their email address, phone number. I tend to put down the phone numbers of our site and then the teacher's extensions. And then in here would be a link to their plans and expectations. So this could be a Google slide deck that they create, or maybe a Google Doc that you give your teachers as a template, and they could add that in there. Students can then click on it and it would take them to that information. Right now, all the links are just going to google.com because that just seems like a safe general place to have it linked, and I couldn't put this in there without a link. On the right side, this is just a video that does not relate to this at all, but the idea is that teachers would create their own videos and they would put this into, they could maybe use Screencastify or Loom or whatever method they want, but they would be introducing themselves and they would be doing a quick walkthrough of their Google Classroom, because one of the biggest questions I had from parents last year, because they're unfamiliar with the technology, was just, how do I use all these resources? So ideally in this short video, which I think could be easily less than 3 minutes, just a quick walkthrough of this is where all our assignments are located. This is where I put our Google Meet or our Zoom link so that you can join the class. Something that gives parents and students a visual. Now, if you scroll down, you'll see that I've just left this blank for you. While this is very much set up in a secondary sort of way, you could absolutely just change this to first grade, second grade, third, fourth, fifth, and so on to make it more elementary friendly. So if you go into all of these pages, you will see that they just have this information here, and they are blank for now. And again, I'll show you the back end on that in just a moment. So for the administration page, it's just a quick page for them to add their photos and maybe even a video to introduce themselves. Counseling has a little bit more information. Again, this kind of top page would take them to a couple links, which are a drop down here. But the counselors would be here with their photos, maybe a short video as well, introducing themselves or answering any important questions. The counselor request form, there's a page for that here that I'll show you in a second, but I also put a link here. A lot of students are going to have questions for their counselor, especially if they're in secondary, about their classes, or maybe they just need some support. So this is a link to a counselor request form that they could submit in Google Forms. Again, only linking to google.com right now so that you can add your own. But that way they can ask any of those questions that they need to ask, and an email will be sent to the counselors once that is submitted. So the other page that's on is the counseling request page. We separate ours by A, K, and L through Z. So it's not linked to anything right now, but you could absolutely link these pictures to those forms that you would link to on the previous page as well. The tech support page is a very important page because of distance learning is so much technology. So again, these are some of the same questions that were on the general info tab. But in addition to this, there's a helpful video section. And in that section, we use Infinite Campus in our district, but how can students use Infinite Campus and access their grades? How can parents use Infinite Campus and access their students' grades? And a video on how to utilize Google Classroom as a student and as a parent. More videos can absolutely be put in there, but I think that this would be a very helpful section for parents to kind of get a visual on the technology that their students are using and support their students in the classroom. So under parent resources, this is absolutely blank right now, as you will see. Again, linking off to Google, but your site or your district might have other parent resources to things that are available in the community to support them during this time. So this is a section that you could link in there. Now, this is very much what you would see on the public page. So let me take you in the back end real quick and show you what that looks like. So Google Sites edit version, I guess you could say, is located in here. And all of this stuff, like I said, you can change and make it your own. Text is really easy. You just go in and you click on it. You can delete it. You can copy and paste it, whatever you want. If you don't like these photos and you want to move them, just click once, click again. You can crop them, you can uncrop them, you can add a link, and you could also replace the image and select one from the web or upload your own image. So that kind of works similar to what you would see in the teacher section right now. So if you go in here, you can absolutely come in and again, upload that and replace it. For the video, very similar. Let me show you a section down here. This one would have to be deleted because it's already in there. But down here, you can see that Google set it up very nicely that when you want to add in a video or a photo, you just click the plus button and you select where you want to add it from. So you might want to upload a photo, or on the video side, maybe the video is located on YouTube. One thing I've also done, and this looks duplicated, so I'm going to actually delete that extra line right now. But one thing that you can also do is you can duplicate sections if you need more teachers. And that way you don't have to make everything from scratch. So I'll just show you, duplicate. I've got a new section here, and I can just drag it around if I want to, or delete it if I don't need it. So that's pretty much the back end. That's pretty important. The pages are located over here. And so you can kind of drop that down. You can add more pages, delete pages. If you wanted to delete one, you could delete them over here. You could change the theme. A lot of different things for you to play around with, but that's just a few of the basics. When you go to publish it, you can publish it. You can view the published site if you want to, but it's kind of cool when it publishes because it shows you what it currently is published as and then what's going to change. So remember that little line I just deleted? That's why it's going to show you that like, oh, that's gone now. So when I publish that, then it becomes the draft version, becomes live. Now, the last thing I want to show you is how to make your own copy, because this is absolutely a free resource for you if you would like it. So in that folder that is linked within the blog post, you can see that there's two documents here, or two, I guess, documents you could say, for lack of a better word, in this folder. One is the site and one is a short GIF on how to make a copy. But I will show you that really, really quick. So to make a copy, you will just right-click and go to Make a Copy. It takes a moment because the site is a little bit bigger and heftier, I guess, than a document or a slide deck. But then you'll see that there's a copy of the one that I said make a copy of. Now from here, you don't want to leave it right here because this is my folder and like you don't want me to have access to your stuff. So from there, you want to right click on that new one, click Move To, and move that into your own personal Google Drive. And that way you have access to it on your own drive and I don't have access to it because there isn't really a much better way to share Google Sites at this time. If you do have any questions, please do not hesitate to reach out to me. I hope that you find this resource useful and that it will help your students and families as they are in distance learning. Have a great day.